Hi guys, this is Breaker, and I simply could not resist the opportunity to cast this game between eXeA's Hephaistas and EGIdrA. Now I'm going to try and basically cast this game like I'm telling a story. It is kind of late at night, so I'm going to try and chill. I'm going to be a little quieter than usual. I hope that doesn't disappoint any of you who are watching this VOD right now. Once upon a time, there's a player who went to Korea, and he became the first foreigner to compete in the GSL back in the Brood War days. I give you none other than Evil Genius's very own EGIdrA. And in the upper left hand corner, a member of eXe who's now facing off against one of the world's best players who consistently returns results. Will he be able to beat him on the ladder? It's none other than eXe's very own Hephaistas. Now, I'm not entirely sure how EGIdRA's ZVZ performance is, but one thing that does have me speculate recently with some replays that I've downloaded from public sites, I will say that something new that's been kind of trending is these Ling-Baneling wars, where both players basically opt to get +1 carapace out as soon as possible. We do have both sides of the map opting for hatch first openers, and I see nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, at the level that I play at, I am, relatively speaking, a little uneasy to do a hatch first opener without sending a drone scout out, but both of these players are GMs. I would just say that Hephaistas doesn't really have all the experience that, EGIdRA has. No offense, I'm not bashing Hephaistas when I say this, but nobody's paid for a plane ticket for him to go to Korea to compete, as far as I know. Hephaistas is going to see the natural expansion. Yes, he does already. And both players actually going for the gases right now. This is almost a 100% mirror right now. So let's see just how this grinds out in the next few minutes. EGIdRA, people seem to bash him for his performance. They say, EGIdRA's bad, he lost to 1 base battle cruisers, EGIdRA's bad this, EGIdRA's bad that. But at the same time, I have to say, he's producing results. He performed well enough in the North American WCS to go to Shanghai to compete in the Battle.net World Championships, which is basically what every WCS around the world, what every single WCS competition around the world boiled down to. If you did well in it, if you placed in the top 3, top 2 players, I believe, you from each country or from each Battle.net zone or sector or district, if you will, then you went to the Battle.net World Championships. But I can't say the same for Taiwan. I'm not entirely sure. Here's what I do know. From North America, there were 3 players. Suppy, Root Vibe, and EG in control. By the way, we do have the Baneling nest going down now for both players. EGIdRA's just a teeny bit behind that of Hephaistas's, but both of these are defensive Baneling nests. They're in positions that are meant to force Zerglings to basically SimCity around each other, and both players actually have a pair of Lings out on the map to scout each other. But back to what I was saying just a moment ago. We got, we actually have EGIdRA opting to go just a little bit offensive with this. At any rate, the thing is, from America, as far as I know, there was Root Vibe, there was EG Suppy, and there was EGIdRA. But for Taiwan, there was just one player, and that was Sen. Both players' metabolic boosts finished at the same time. Wow, that was actually a little insane to watch. Okay, so here we go. EGIdRA moving his Lings into position, but of course there are Banelings ready here for Hephaistas to defend, but there's also 2 coming from EGIdRA. Now, it looks like we're going to see Hephaistas hold here, but what did he lose in all of this. He has lost absolutely nothing, and wow, losses for both players are actually 100% even. This is really one of those games, guys. At this stage, who would have imagined both players actually lost the same amount of, what's the word I'm looking for, resources. But if we look at the worker count right now, EGIdrA is slightly ahead with 3 more. This is a mirror matchup, and EGIdrA did get his defensive banelings out first. We have an Overlord here that's going to get vision of everything that's out there, and EGIdrA is sending out some banelings right now to basically deal with whatever's there. And he's got these banelings on hold, waiting for them to finish, and that is just clever. I never would have imagined a player doing that, but you know, EGIdrA, certainly the reflexes, all that training, and it looks like, oh no, you pre-detonated a baneling by accident. And it looks like Hephaistas just kind of gambled there. He blew up a baneling, and he got 2 banelings for it, but of course he had to use a total of 2 altogether. EGIdrA throwing 3 banelings at the cocoons here, and some lings to get these guys to stop morphing. And he's doing a sick job of holding off against the offensive that we see from Hephaistas. Behind this, he's throwing down the Spire. And he's holding his ground fairly well against all these banelings, but we still have a lot more coming from Hephaistas. This is basically going to all bank on EGIdrA, making extremely effective use of the banelings he has already. It looks like there was a forward structure here that got denied. I think it was a spine color. And now there are 4 banelings, forced to hold against 4 banelings and a lot of lings. 2 more are in production now for EGIdrA. They get stopped by Hephaistas, and these lings are trying to get in there and stab the queen. Forces a cancel, forces one of the banelings to get destroyed, and now we see just like an absolute tangly mess coming out from EGIdrA. From Hephaistas. He's actually going to, I think, try and move in here, but as long as there's 2 lings at the very least, we're going to see him have a very difficult time putting on pressure. But of course, we have EGIdrA saving up just a little bit of gas. This will allow him to get some mutas out and snipe some of the banelings, but of course, oh no, it looked like EGIdrA just didn't have full control of those banelings, those 2 that just detonated. And but now it's looking like he's ready to go into basically full defensive mode with this. And I just, you know, I can't say it enough. This is one of those sick baneling micro wars that is so rare to find. And oh, but that was exactly, whoa, what is this? Well, Hephaistas left the game. As far as I know, there actually weren't any mutas out on the map, but I'm pretty sure Hephaistas knew that they were going to come out, and EGIdrA was actually further ahead in the Mutalisk production. Both players painfully even, but if we look at the losses for Hephaistas, it's only fractionally higher, but there were so many defensive banelings back here in position for EGIdrA. He was ready to take on anything that came his way, so I don't blame Hephaistas for leaving. He also knew that his opponent, it's just one of those timings that he was counting on. His own layer tech, let's go back and see here. His own layer tech was only getting started with that. So if you want to look and see just what it was that, what it is that basically I think prompted him to leave, it was the fact that he had low layer tech. And if, you stop and examine for just a moment how many banelings he actually threw away on EGIdrA. Every single one of them made the difference. It comes down to the micro battle in the end. It was just, I couldn't believe it. It was very subtle. We see that both players are on even skill, and it almost seemed as though for a minute, EGIdrA got inside of Hephaistas' head. He's like, no, now you rage quit. Of course, we can all give Hef a round of applause, really. I mean, guys, I don't know how else to say it. He did good, I think, but of course he just knew the end was coming. I don't think he had, let's go back and just see if he had vision of that Spire. He did not. He didn't have any vision in the main. But, I think, just anyone facing EGIdrA on the ladder, period, that signals to me that they're a very good player, at the very least. So if you guys liked what you saw, go ahead and click on the subscribe button. It should be blinking red right about now.